With all these new shonen manga hitting the magazine, some have managed to shift apart from the norm and place themselves into a different subgenre that has grown to be widely successful. I've talked about two of these particular manga several times across various different videos, with them being Chainsawman and Jujutsu Kaisen. However, the final part of the trio that I've yet to read until recently hasn't received as much hype and recognition compared to the rest, yet it's still just as good. The manga is called Hell's Paradise, and together with Chainsawman and JJK, they make up what the community calls the quote-unquote dark trio of Shounen Jump, which honestly suits the respective series perfectly. The Hell's Paradise manga has gotten the most recent anime adaptation announcement out of the trio, and I couldn't be more hyped for the outcome, and from me recently binging the entire manga, you should honestly be invested too. This video will of course not go over any major spoilers regarding the series, but hopefully it will give you an insight into the crazy world that's built within Hell's Paradise and what the story will offer you. The premise of Hell's Paradise is pretty simple to understand, but the author does a good job in building upon it significantly with every chapter. The story begins with our protagonist Gabimaru the Hollow, who's captured and sentenced to death because he attempted to escape his village of ninja. They basically try anything to kill him, but nothing seems to work until a girl from a strange clan of swordsmen who masters in decapitation decides to test his will to live. Gabimaru pretty much deeps that he will die if he even lets her come close, so he proceeds to evade her until she uncovers that he does have an attachment towards life, which turns out to be his love for his wife. The girl, who we now know as Sagiri, gives him another chance at life and freedom with a mission from the Shogun of Japan, who's looking for strong people that are capable of collecting this mythical elixir of life that exists on an island on the other side. Even though it's not talked about nearly enough, the story of Hell's Paradise has a lot more to offer than what's shown at first glance. It didn't quite hook me until I got a couple chapters into the series, but once it did, I found myself invested in these characters more than I ever expected to from their introductions. There's a lot more depth to their character than you're led to believe from their intros, and this is especially the case with our main character and deuteragonist Gabimaru and Sagiri. Gabimaru's attachment towards life with his wife and getting back home to her is tested time and time again, and the author shows us in an amazing way how this mission that Gabimaru is currently facing is more difficult than anything he's done in the past. Even though the landscape that Hell's Paradise is built upon involves constant life or death action, the brief moments where we are given insight into the character's mindset, we are reminded of their purpose and the job that they are here to do. One of the major aspects of the series I absolutely love is the battle sequences within Hell's Paradise. Just like the other two manga in the dark trio, Chainsawman and JJK, Hell's Paradise does such a good job with their fight scenes and has some of my favourite battles in any new gen series. Every character has a distinguished style, and there's almost never a time where we don't see one of them utilised to its max potential. The reason why the fights resonate with me so much and why they're some of the best in any new gen series is probably due to how prevalent the power system is in these life or death battles. The power system within the series is called Tao, and it's essentially one's own life energy, and unlike most other shonen series where the main character takes a training arc and grows exponentially stronger, the MC Gabimaru learns the ways of Tao through experience and the control of one's emotions. In almost every battle, the characters face villains that are disturbingly stronger than them. However, because Tao is such a diverse and unique power system, the characters can put up a fight by utilizing their specific attributes such as fire or metal to counter the opponent and deal damage. It's a system based on using one's own strength and weakness at the same time in a perfect balance to embrace the power to the best of their ability. This power system is not only sick within the fights, as they use Tao to manipulate the antagonist's power and send it back to them, but it's also a direct reference to Gabimaru's own personal struggle and accepting one's own weakness to become stronger. Tao is generally a new concept to our main cast, however some have passively learned the ways through their own experiences. This is the case with characters such as Shion, who is blind but can see the world and everything around him using Tao, and he's honestly the coldest character in the series aside from maybe Gabimaru. The sidecast in general is really damn good, and each of them had unique character journeys that had various different impacts within the series and its landscape. Some had very well done dynamics with the antagonists of the series, which are referred to as Lord Tencent, and this is especially the case with the duo Chobe and Toma, because just like the people in the island trying to survive and retrieve the elixir of life, the Lord Tencent also have purpose within their actions, and this is explored more within their character dynamics. Some of these character dynamics are built up from the very beginning of the series, and some are grown as their journeys continue. The author does a good job in portraying different ways that these characters are growing, not just in strength but in their outlook and perspective, which is an effect that the island has had on them. The cool thing about the island that I noticed as the series continued is the fact that most aspects that are considered to be true beauty, such as the environment and even the main enemies such as the Lord Tensen, are some of the most disturbing creatures, but also a deliberate callback to the danger of the place that they're in. The main character Gabimaru has such amazing development, which just like his purpose is very grounded and humble. We see him take many different approaches to this mission where he fails, but it also results in him growing in some sort of way, which is super dope to see in your MC. He realizes that to get home and save his crew, he needs to learn and adapt in any way he can, and he learns through experience and training with his comrades, and this is something he never would have considered when entering the island. We also get to see him take himself to the limit and sacrifice anything he can in order to succeed and get back home, which just betrays his conviction within this mission. The entire sidecast is super cool, and I honestly had no overlaying issues while reading the series, and with the trailer that Mappa released, I know that the anime is in very good hands and might even elevate my experience with the manga. The fights are such a major part of my enjoyment with the series, and with how Mappa handled JJK, I'm sure the choreography and dynamic movement shown in the manga will look sick in the anime adaptation. You should definitely get invested and excited for this anime, which I believe is dropping very soon in only a couple months time, with super big titles such as Bleach, Chainsaw Man and Mob Psycho. If you made it this far, just know I appreciate you, and as always, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and I'll catch you in my next video. Peace.